Nigeria and Portugal to explore deepening bilateral relations. INEC extends continuous voter registration exercise indefinitely.
Establish the commission that will be dedicated to the deterrence and punishment of electoral offenders.
House of Representatives passes National Electoral Offences Commission Bill for second reading. Plus, Nigerian military confirms surrender of 4,770 terrorists in the last 2 weeks. All right, let's begin in Portugal, where Nigeria and Portugal have resolved to explore more policies and strategies towards deepening and expanding the win-win partnership and cooperation between the two countries in various sectors of their economies for a sustainable future. This was the outcome of the high-level talks between Presidents Muhammadu Buhari and his Portuguese counterpart, Marcelo de Sousa, in Lisbon. State House correspondent Adam Sambo reports.
It was a warm and befitting welcome for President Muhammadu Buhari by his Portuguese counterpart Marcelo de Sousa on arrival at Pescado Imperial. Diplomatic relations between Nigeria and Portugal spanned more than 4.5 decades, but President Buhari is the first Nigerian leader to pay a state visit to the European nation, and the show of appreciation by the Portuguese can better be imagined.
Having these two presidents come together at this time is historic, and the excitement is all over.
I think when you see a country treat your own president as one among equals, you feel very proud.
The highly elated President de Sousa guided the Nigerian leader on tour of some historical places, including the 400-year-old monastery, before holding a one-on-one talks on areas of common interest. The two leaders later joined their respective countries' delegations for an enlarged meeting where decisions were finalized on the future of the relations between their countries, after which they addressed journalists.
We are delighted that we can count Portugal as a valued and reliable friend and partner. We share the same democratic values and look to increase and broaden cooperation in various fields at the bilateral and multilateral levels.
As far as I'm concerned, we were waiting for this visit since 2016. Nigeria is the largest African economy. It is a dynamic country. It is very close to being one of the most powerful 20 economies in the world.
President Buhari in particular told his host that with the world now at a crossroad, decisions they take as leaders could make or break the global community, which faces, amongst others, existential challenges with climate change, food insecurity, conflict, health, and energy issues.
We look to Portugal as an influential country and partner to play an important role in helping to pull the world back from the brink. We are optimistic that this visit will take Nigeria-Portugal relations to a whole new level.
Your visit to Portugal represents a unique moment for a political and social and economic, financial and diplomatic leap forward in our brotherly relations between both countries.
And before leaving the presidential palace, President Muhammadu Buhari was conferred with a befitting national honor of the Republic of Portugal, the Great Collar of the Order of Prince Henry, by the Portuguese leader, President Marcelo de Sousa. From Lisbon, Portugal, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Nigeria-Portugal Economic Forum has ended in Lisbon with a renewed commitment to open up a new vista of economic cooperation and collaboration between the two countries for enhanced mutual benefits. Addressing the closing session of the forum, both President Muhammadu Buhari and his Portuguese counterpart Marcelo de Sousa promised the desired political will towards building strong, sustainable and economic future on Sicilian friendship. Here again is State House correspondent Adam Asambo.
They were sold over $1 billion worth of LNG to Portugal.
The Economic Forum, with the theme Expanding Investment and Trade Opportunities between Nigeria and Portugal, demonstrates the willingness to prioritize private sector participation in promoting strong and sustainable economic cooperation between the two countries. From Nigeria alone, over 80 public and private sector companies, agencies and organizations stood to be counted.
With a population of over 200 million, very young and very dynamic people, Portugal would achieve enormous economies of scale by using Nigeria as a one-stop shop to access the African market.
We are facing today a very difficult situation in terms of the supply of energy to Europe. And I think Nigeria, working with Portugal, with other Atlantic nations, can be one of the solutions.
After the year 2020, trade relations between Nigeria and Portugal stood at over $1 billion, mostly in the oil and gas sector. Although this is a great progress, President Muhammadu Buhari strongly believes that a lot more can be done.
The Nigerian government officials in this room are on standby to provide all the necessary information you need. I have already directed the establishment of a dedicated Portugal working group headed by the Ministry of Trade and Investment to address any special concerns you may have. I want to assure you that we will take these requests seriously and our response will be swift.
I'm so proud, and the Portuguese government is so proud, and the Portuguese companies are so proud for having you here. We want to be more feeling at home in Nigeria. Not just a couple of companies, not just 10 companies. We want thousands of companies and thousands of Portuguese feeling at home in Nigeria. And that will be our legacy. Your legacy, my legacy, the legacy of this state visit.
The Portuguese leader, President de Sousa, who promised to be in Nigeria soon, described President Buhari's visit to Portugal as not only a visit of words, promises and intentions, but that of facts and achievements.
We can trust you, you can trust us. We trust you on gas supply. You never failed. And we could help you diversifying your economy. And we have companies, experienced companies, and centers of excellence to do it.
Our two countries have a long shared history, and we now have the political will to ensure our shared future is built on sincere friendship, cooperation, and mutual support. Nigeria is a very attractive investment destination.
At the event, several memoranda of understanding were signed between the Portuguese Trade and Investment Agency, the Nigerian Investment Promotion Council, as well as the Nigerian Association of Chamber of Commerce, Mines and Agriculture, NACIMA. In the meantime, President Buhari was also a guest of the Portuguese Parliament, where he was accorded a befitting welcome. He later held bilateral talks with the President of the National Assembly, Augusto Santo da Silva, behind closed doors. The President also granted audience to his Guinea-Bissau's counterpart, Umaru Sissoco Embalo, but details of their discussions were not disclosed. From Lisbon, Portugal, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari's engagements in Portugal seem to be on the right trajectory, with the announcement of a series of meetings and signing of agreements. In this report, Garba Muhammad Natal examines the benefits of Nigeria's bilateral ties with Portugal.
The bilateral relations between Nigeria and Portugal dates back to history at the time of exploration by European explorers in the 1400s. Their main goal was to find a suitable trade route with Asia. Accidentally, the Portuguese explorers landed on the sandy shores of Nigeria, which has an appealing sight to behold. Surprisingly, they were in a land similar to theirs, witnessing a highly industrialized place with systems in place for agriculture, arts, and rich cultural heritage in various kingdoms they encountered, along other indigenous civilizations in some parts of Nigeria. This prompted the need to begin trade with Nigerians, mostly with the Benin Kingdom. For the greater part of the 1400s, this long-standing relationship continues to grow from strength to strength. Successive governments of the two countries have continued to build stronger ties on many fronts. Cooperation centered on the economy, fighting corruption and security, as well as massive infrastructural development across the two countries. To further benefit from the mutual trust, a Portuguese company was awarded the construction of railway from Kano to Maradi, establishment of a joint commission to serve as the auspices of all aspects of bilateral relations between both countries. Military cooperation was also not left out, along with oil and gas exports. Much more outcomes are expected from President Muhammadu Buhari's visit to Lisbon, Portugal's capital, as Nigeria's economy continues to grow and represents more opportunities to expand the capacity of both countries. In Abuja, Garba Muhammad Natala, NTA News.
From Portugal, let's go to Ghana, where ECOWAS ministers of finance, diplomats and experts have identified priority sectors such as value addition on agricultural products, as well as maintaining economic growth as some requisites to recover from the current global economic challenges. Usman Aliu reports that the ECOWAS Ministers' Council in Accra specially recognized President Muhammadu Buhari for his role in championing the fight against COVID-19.
COVID-19 is not yet over, but unlike the year 2020, it is now less worrisome as the vaccination campaign brought hope once again.
In a very special way, I'd like to duly acknowledge and express our appreciation to His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the champion for the coordination of the fight against COVID-19, for which he has taken